We are live with
When
a
we
better
say live,
software
it
this
means we're
time.
recording. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We're gonna run the trial, see how it goes. Yeah. How are you? We had a bit of a break, I think. You were a bit sick last week. Feeling better
Yeah.
now?
It's the second time I came back from the office. One of the benefits of going back to the office, meeting everybody and getting acquaintance with viruses in the office. People
Well, it's
sneeze
like
on
kids in
you in
daycare.
the subway. So this is the second time I come back from the office with a nasty virus. This time it was really nasty. I was weak. I was really under a cold for a whole week. It was really bad.
Yeah. I guess the thing, right? Like we sit home a lot. Like just our profession. You kind of have to
Right.
sit, stand or whatnot. And then just live. And then you kind of, yeah, just need to put that time around exercise and everything. It's I don't know how about you. Like when I started, I got some weight, like 20 years ago, or whatever it was. Like when I started coding, um, because before that, also worked with computers, but not as coder, just like customer support and stuff. But most of my childhood and just kind of and the youth and the just early 20s, all the work I did was using my hands. It was all physical. And I don't think I was ever sick, to be honest. Also, obviously, was young, so that's helpful. But still, like it's because of the woodworking I do today, and some of it is very physical. Some of it, like I need to kind of, I finish, I'm doing something, and I'm sweaty,
Right. Right.
and I usually do it kind of Tuesday morning, and then like until like 12, and then I come back and I walk. I think that's still one of my difficult days to do that switch from outside to inside. On the other side, on that Tuesday, then I just walk like until like 5, 6, so like half a day pretty much. I so focused. It's not maybe because I know I have only half a day. So with everything I do is like just my Tuesdays are my most planned day pretty much because of that, right? Because I have only like and then I just and then I because the morning I spent some of it outside and just like exercising, you can say, right? So my Tuesday afternoon, they're very just, I feel like I do a lot in those like 4 or 5 hours, a lot.
Nice.
And I don't feel like smashed after, when I finish. Yeah, like all I'm saying is just because we're inside. I think for us, I think exercising for everyone is important, but for us, especially,
I bought it. It took me a while to decide to buy it, and I bought it for I think two main reasons. One of them was a health reason. I wanted to. It was actually the second reason. The first reason I wanted to have the notification without the need to pull the phone out of my pocket. I wanted to look at my hand and see the notification,
stay
even
connected.
if exactly when I need to stay connected.
Yeah.
And one of the things it highlighted is how bad my health declined. And that is an amazing thing. So I started noticing that and I started saying, oh my God, I need to take things into hand. Like I need to make sure I start working out. But here's a situation which like personally I've been struggling with for a while now. So I have like if you look at my list of tasks, daily tasks, right? I have like a huge backlog, something that could fit in a couple of lifetimes. And some of these items that I have to do during the day are urgent to be done today. Like if I'm talking to this person, he's telling me, drop everything, do that. And I'm talking to another person, he's telling me, drop everything, do the other thing. So each person, which I'm telling them, I have to do this today, they're telling, what, are you crazy? Drop everything, do that today. Don't take care of anything else. So I have a huge backlog of tasks of items, and trying to jam in health, going to the gym is very challenging. And on top of this, sometimes I'm saying, okay, you know what, I'll complete this task. And I go to my list of tasks in my Trello board, Kanban, whatever Kanban you use, And I say, okay, this is my day. I'm going to do this from this hour to this hour. I'm going to do this from this hour to this hour, and so and so. And even though I take buffers, sometimes things go so wrong in ways that I cannot even imagine. Like a task that I would imagine it would take me an hour with buffer 2 hours, 3 hours, it spreads to 5, 6, 7 hours sometimes in ways that I could not even imagine. Like there's no way for me to imagine that things would go so wrong. And it happens to me multiple times a week. Like things go so wrong in ways like I'm sometimes thinking, what the hell is happening? How can things like this is the most least expected situation, and it happens. These kind of things happen to me all the time. I don't know what it is,
I
where
don't
it's
think it
coming
happens
from.
only to you, mate. We're talking about work, right? Just like we're talking about writing software.
Not only about work. So, for
You're talking
example,
about like just in general, like
yeah,
life.
let me give an example. So I had to do a test. So I was a part of this course, and I wanted to do a test. It's an easy course. I wanted to do the test to get that certification. I postponed it because I was at the office, and then when I came back from the week at the office, I was very sick, so I postponed it. Friday, I said, let's do the test. It's supposed to, they're supposed to give you an hour and a half. I would do the test like in 30 minutes and get it over with, get an A and get it done. Okay, started logging in to do the test. There is this, you need to install this software. You need to do all this kind of preemptive procedure in order to make sure that the online test is valid. Fine. It took a little longer than I thought, but okay, fine. I took it under consideration. Started doing the test. 5 minutes into the test, 5 questions, software crash. Software crash, and it opens up a window saying rate us or whatever. So I'm calling the support. He's saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. This is the software crashed. Call this. This is the support. Call them." I called them. He said, "Well, it's not our problem. Call the education system." I said, "But your software crash, not our problem." So I spent about 2 hours on the phone trying to get someone to reinitiate the test, because now, the test is marked after 5 questions that I've done it. That's it. I closed the test after 5 questions, and I have like 60 more questions, and I couldn't get anyone. So these kind of things, like, it's not even imaginable. But by the end of, the 2 hours, I just hang up and I said, I'll talk to them sometime, some other time, because I had so much other things to do. But from a thing that I started to say, okay, it will take me 30 minutes, I'll add an hour as a buffer, to a situation where it took me 4 hours and I didn't even complete it. Things like that. Like, I don't know how
Yeah,
to, and it happens all the time. Does it happen to you as well?
of course. It's kind of, it's. I think it happens. It happens a lot in things that I don't have full control in. It's kind of. I know I can be pretty efficient with myself, starting from cooking. Like my wife asks me, like, how the hell you get everything ready at the same time? Walk in the kitchen and just manage the restaurant. So kind of get that experience. And I know, it's gonna be like, so I can plan it in my head. It's way more difficult to plan for things that you just assume is gonna work, right? It's kind of, you're not gonna,
Right.
like, do you need to assume that the software you're gonna use to do the test is not gonna work? I think you should assume it's gonna work. I think it's
Yeah,
fair.
like, what are the
Like,
odds?
especially if you pay for it, like, it's kind of like, do your
Exactly.
fucking job. Make sure the software is
Exactly.
gonna work, right? You already took a buffer. I think so. Like, I don't expect things just to work smoothly. So again, as you try to take buffers, I do expect kind of myself, I guess, when I do something, just kind of plan it and execute. But yeah, it happens all the time. Like, it's, yeah, just happens. Even like, it's that I'm gonna drive to the to the super. I'm gonna put the Tesla to charge, and then I'm gonna go there. Then okay, no problem. I'm going there, coming in, no spot in the charger. Fuck me. Okay, put the car, gonna go to the supermarket, come back. Oh, now there's a charger. So I'm gonna put the car to charge, and now I'm gonna sit there like an asshole, instead of doing something at the same time. So it's kind of, so now, do I need to be disappointed at life at that moment? No, just gotta find something to do with that time.
It's frustrating. It's kind
It's
of,
frustrating. Yeah, of course it is. But I think again, like, it's kind of, was there a way for me to control there's not going to be a spot there? Like, I usually, almost every time I went there at the same time, no issues. It's kind of, but That specific day, lots of people went there to charge their car at 9 a.m. Shut the fuck up. It just happens. Yeah, it's
So okay,
I think
so
I think it's more annoying at work, to be honest, than in personal life, to me at least, because when things like that happen at work, it will impact my personal life way more, or
how come?
just kind of that dependency. If that makes sense.
How come? Why would that differ affect?
So if let's say I'm gonna plan a project, with a few engineers, we're gonna release this big integration in X amount of time. Let's say there's a deadline because it's external. I don't like internal deadlines, but we can talk about that too. And we're gonna plan everything, and we're late. It's kind of we miss something on the planning. There's area in the system that we thought is we don't need to touch. It's just gonna work. We can just hook into that. Integrate, and that's it. And then shit, it's kind of we should
Right.
have checked properly
Right.
that we can
Right.
actually do that, right? Not just assume. So I think it happens when we just assume, right? Don't actually check. And then, oh, we're late now, so we need to, because of this external deadline, the last thing you want to do is, to move that, or you want to save that to like this last result. So you need to cut corners, right? And you want to cut corners in a way that you can go later and make it better without, the consumer or the integration have an impact. So you build that contract. They can use your integration or you can use theirs, and you can continuously improve. So you're going to spend more time on it, right? Even more than kind of way more than planned, because then you're not just going to finish the project, or you're going to have to go back and work on it more. Or you don't do, then you create technical debt. That's what usually happens. So
Do you
mhm.
in those situations, do you just say, I'm going to add extra hours, I'm going to just work all day and all night for 2 weeks until I get it done? Or you're just going to replan it in a way that
Yeah,
keeps your sanity and your team's sanity?
I don't think you're going to get better result if you're going to go and code for 2 weeks extra, double shift. Um, I would rather spend time to, you know, learn from it. Now, okay, what can we do to isolate, right, and come back to it later? Well, where we can cut the corners, right? It's kind of, I just don't think sleeping in office or whatnot, just walking crazy or coding all day, all night is sometimes you have to, sometimes it happens, right? It's kind of
Right.
urgent. I just don't think you get very good result. Like, did you ever look at your code that you worked on for 12 hours and said, this is the best thing I ever wrote? It's
Ever.
usually the other way. It's usually
Right,
shit,
right,
right?
right, right, right.
So, and if you're asking software engineers, you're going to hear usually the same thing from them, right? Then, so why do we think if you're going to put multiple engineers working extra hours on the same problem, even if we all know that it will usually result in, from their personal experience, it will usually result in bad code. If we're going to put them together to work on that for, to a whole night, and we're going to get better result. No, you won't. Coding is very mental, kind of, there's only so many hours you can code, of the day, like just kind of continuously. I think AI is going to help with that, which is great. You can do more at the same time, but yeah, it's
So
so
you're
I don't think throwing more, just more hours at the problem is necessarily going to be the solution. I think just there are other ways to deal with that.
cutting corners.
Sometimes if you have to, yeah, or again, just when I say cut corners, right? Okay, so it's it's not gonna be as, as smooth and beautiful like internally, right? The API, you can say like we create an integration. So the API will be perfect, no changes to the contract. Internally we can make it, it's kind of, let's understand the scale. Like we don't have to build it from day one, to support millions of users. Let's support 1,000. We know it cannot grow to 20,000 in a week, so we'll have to do some things right. We'll have to add caching or whatnot. But a unit test, whatever it is, just your speed and quality not always go together.
Right,
Rarely.
right.
So yeah. So again, if you fucked up with the planning in the beginning, do better planning. Yeah. So it's that's how I see it. Again, just from my experience, I don't remember ever myself or my team in any company that we work late and we achieved good result. We might met that, we be able to meet the
Met the
deadline.
deadline. Yeah.
That happened. Yeah, of course. But
But it becomes a technical debt that now you need to go back and fix later.
and in most of the time, no one ever does. because you met the deadline and oh, that's it, let's move on.
Yeah,
Hold on,
yeah,
wait a sec.
exactly.
So I think just when you plan better, right? When you kind of just hold on a second, just we can meet the deadline, but we need to make some changes. It happens. I think it already happens more and more. Happens less in greenfield projects, right? It's also can happen, obviously. I think like in greenfield project, the most important thing is being robust, right? You don't have to build everything perfectly or just, everything like all the features. Design the system, build it in a robust way that you can get the customer value as fast as you can, get the flow, whatever you're doing, and then just add more and more features as you go. But we'll see, the more things we build, the more we learn how to do it better.
Yeah. Even though I think like it's been like I built so many things, I still feel like even after all these years, I can't fully 100% grasp the like the magic path, the optimal road to achieving things. I'm trying to navigate with whatever I gain through my life experiences, but it's still challenging. I get results, and people appreciate those, and people appreciate my work and the things that I achieve with the team. But I'm still, internally, I still feel it's because I'm highly critical of myself and how I do things, that I'm always like, I could have done better. I could have done it better this. I could have done it better that. And I'm always highly critical of things. You reminded me of a project that I did when I first came into the organization. They gave me a project, and they gave me, I think it was 2 developers at a time. And they told me, this is a throwaway project. Like, we're going to deliver this to client for a specific task. Once they'll achieve that task, we're going to archive that project, and we're not going to need it. Just build it as fast as you can. So I built it. They gave me a few months. I took 2 developers and I built it, and they were so happy with the results. So they started adding features. And after, I think, a year and a half, 2 years, that project became a permanent solution in the organization, to a phase that now 5 years later, they took a couple of developers. They brought me in. They said, we're going to rewrite this project because it became such a useful tool for the internal users. And I told them, like, we wrote it so badly because you guys said, it's an archive project, it's throwaway. We didn't, put our minds into testing and all of that. And now, all this horrible legacy code needs to be rewritten because we move fast and broke things. But, the application.
Would you, if you had known that it's going to be used across, it's going to be used so much across the organization, would you have built it differently, by the way?
I would probably, yeah, oh yes, definitely. I would use more time to make sure that the code is readable, because half of the time I was just hacking my way to get things released, because there was so much pressure to, they just told me, I think I came in at November. They said at March, this has to be released. By March, this has to be released to clients. They have to use it for 2 months, and then we're going to archive it. So there was so much pressure. And after it was released in March, they just kept adding features. We love this, add this, add this, add this. And there was no one, there was no real project. There was one person and just myself as lead and 2 developers. So we just kept building fast and hacking our way. I would definitely take more attention to, writing code that would be readable years from now, instead of just hacking solutions, which I did
It will
back
take
in
more
the day.
time.
Yes,
Right? Then,
yes.
well, I can argue that if you would have taken more time and you wouldn't release it in March, this project maybe could have not seen the light of day.
Could be.
So, because it will be cool if you knew why it was important to be delivered in March. It's kind of, sometimes we don't, which I'm annoyed by it. Like, happens less in small organizations, just naturally, right? Just, it is what it is. You're very much closer, right? Decision makers, and it's kind of, I've done it so many times, which you just described. It's just hack it away, release it, and that's it. It's I don't think it's wrong. And yes, hindsight, you can go and say, if I know it's being used by so many customers, it's a good problem to have. It's awesome.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think it's much better to have a shitty code but use lots of people than you can go and fix it because you deliver real value. They don't know it.
Right.
The code behind is shitty.
Right. Exactly.
You built something that's being used by other people that and it's kind of hey, it's awesome. It's actually right solving the real problem. That's fucking A, mate. It's awesome.
The only problem is now when you have some security issues with the old software and you need to upgrade. My God.
Yeah, of course. Now you pay the price, right? So
Right.
again, like
Exactly.
there are no free meals, right? It's kind of if you invested the time then, could be perfect. But maybe in March, if you wouldn't release that, maybe they had like some other software that they were paying for and they couldn't say out in public, hey, if we're going to deliver some internal, we can remove that, right? So if you wouldn't, they would stick with something that solved the problem partially, but they had to have something. So again, there are no free meals. You build it quickly. It's being used, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And now
Agree.
you get to fix it, and now you get to be critical of yourself with as much time as you want. It's kind of
I,
there's
I'm
no more pressure.
I'm in a situation now. I have a huge team, like really big team. I can't even count. I think we're something like 15 people. That huge, compared to the teams that you're managing.
No, that's same. I'm right now, but similar number.
And and
Not
and
huge at all.
again, we're behind in time. And I like I said, what the hell am I gonna do? And you said like you just said. You just suggested, remove some of the scope, cut corners. And I think while you said that, I was in my head, I was okay, maybe I will do this and that. That might actually work. So thank you for that. I'm gonna use that to
Yeah,
this
no
week.
problem. Yeah. Listen, a lot of people will tell me like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Are you kidding me? What do you mean cut corners? It's make a decision. Like
Right.
it's very simple.
You
You're
may
planning for
actually save
something
my neck this week.
to execute on. We want to build this project. You have X amount of engineers. Not always throw in more engineers if the problem going to help to solve it.
Right, right.
Just not right. It's like that
It's not
doesn't
realistic
always work
sometimes.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like something will just take the time. That's why I said like AI can help a little bit with that, which is great. Can just make everyone a bit more efficient. So yeah, I think planning better and better. We just all of us as engineer managers, leaders, whatever the fuck the title is, we just need to be better at planning, and we need to teach our people better at planning. I
So
think that's the key.
here's right, but okay, so we plan, right? But there's the variables of life that are unexpected that we
Yeah.
cannot foresee and we have no control over them. What do
hmm
we do when those things happen? You planned all the things, and like you said, one of the solution is cutting corners. What other solutions do we have in a situation where
Yeah.
you did the planning, you did the buffers, you did everything by the book, by the playbook? Things happen, life happens. What do you do now? How do you handle these new variables that came in and kind of completely.
But some depending so many things, right? Again, like sometimes if you have two engineers sick and you are planning for that, and that's going to impact your delivery. So then you just need more people to work on
Right,
that if possible,
right,
right? If they can,
right, right.
and then that depends how easy is that code for other people just to kind of to join, right, and work on. And depends with that with the area that surprised you. If it's I think it's again if that surprise came from area of the system that you assume that's going to be working A, it's working B, then either yourself or someone else in the team can go and look into that more now, see if there are more surprises coming in, right? It's kind of again spend more time on planning. Doesn't have to be now a week, stop everything. Just analysis, basic analysis, and just go understand the problem, how you can isolate, what can be done, sync with everyone. Think sometimes just go, not according to not always go according to the plan. Make a change to the plan. It just happens, right?
What
Again,
happens if management comes in? So this is a deadline. This is a deliverable. This is a client
don't wait
commitment.
for them to come in. Tell them ahead. The moment I think that's the most important part, to be honest. That managing up or in parallel is the moment you see there's a problem, don't feel like, it's kind of, we're all just kind of, oh fuck, I told them it's going to be in May. because of this, it's going to be June. And now you're stressed, and all your engineers see you stressed. It's horrible. It's
Right.
like, it's kind of, it's go explain the situation. Just the moment you saw that, do the analysis, go to them. Okay, guys, we have the deadline. There were unseen circumstances here. In order for us to meet the deadline, we can cut corners here to achieve that, right? Or for this problem, we can actually throw more engineers to fix it. Can we pull 2 people from the other team to work on that, right? In parallel, for example.
Right. Right.
So I think don't just go and say, oh, we're not going to meet the deadlines. Go with multiple solutions and with trade-offs. Sometimes we think, oh, something isn't manageable. Just people like us
Right.
that have their own shit to deal with, right? It's kind of, and
Sometimes
the sooner you go to them and talk to them, usually, yeah. If your manager is an asshole, it doesn't matter when you go to him.
no, I don't think it's an
Yeah.
asshole is the correct
Yeah.
word, as sometimes it's it's the chain of food.
But
And
yeah,
they are somewhere in the hierarchy where they promised to the
of
upper
course, 100%.
shark,
Yeah.
to the upper shark, oh, we're gonna deliver this on time, and now I'm coming to
Yeah,
them and
and
saying that's
and
not
then
gonna
do it.
happen.
Yeah, and they do it based on what we tell them in a
Right,
good place.
right.
Hey, we need to finish it until August, and that's it, without actually talking to you. So when I say assholes, let's put the asshole aside. There's we talk about assholes later. I think the more myself, kind of, I'm also that, in the middle multiple times. And my engineers tell me, oh, it's going to take 2 weeks. I'm going to take 2 weeks, going to need to go and talk to the founders or whoever. Hey, we're going to be delayed. The sooner you do that, right, the more flexible everyone can be.
Right.
So what I'm usually annoyed when it happens is not the fact that it happened. It's because usually you know about it quite late. So I think the sooner you see that, just, hey guys, problem, let's work on a solution.
Let's raise a
Let's
flag.
Yeah, exactly. Let's communicate. And people just kind of mix that sometimes with ego and,
Ego,
oh,
why?
I'm not gonna get, I don't know, because, oh, I was
Oh,
wrong.
I see what you mean.
It's, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I
they're
do
gonna
feel
work all night. Yeah, they're gonna work all night to meet the deadline.
it happens a
Uh,
lot to me. Yes.
because
Like,
they made a mistake.
how can I go back after I made the initial assessment and come back and now say I'm not gonna meet the deadline? Like, that ego ruins me, and I'm gonna, work
Yeah.
weekends and nights to try to reach that goal. Yeah, that is a horrible
I used to
thing.
do the same thing, and then I learned that it's much better to go and say, hey, I made a mistake. There's areas in the system I missed. I think it's going to take way longer now.
Right. Way
Uh,
better.
our options are 1, 2, 3, right? And they can tell me, hey, Viko, sucks because we need to finish it by this and this time. Otherwise, we're going to miss on a huge, part of the
Investment
business
opportunity. Yeah.
or whatever, right? Okay, then if I have to go and work late or, do extra, now I know why. And it's not just, I was an idiot, because now you're an idiot twice.
Yes.
You're an idiot
Yeah.
because you missed that, and an idiot now you're working late, and nobody, why are you working so late so long, right? Oh, I made a mistake. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with missing on plan. It's just, again, we learn the most when we make mistakes. No one is perfect. So just go and say, yeah, I made a mistake, and just say how you're going to work on fix that mistake. That's it.
Is it a mistake? Like, was it a mistake that we
Maybe not a
were
mistake.
unable
To
to
miss
see
something?
the unknowns, that we were not, that there was no way for us to be familiar?
Well, usually unknowns coming from assumptions, right?
Right.
You could just assume.
No, but sometimes these, like, again, from the past, like, for example, I came back from the office and I was a full week. Like, I started feeling not well. I started feeling sick on
Yeah.
Friday, and to the whole week I couldn't work. I think the first day I worked fully is this Friday, like, for a whole week. And this is, the team lacks someone that, it did affect the.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
So these are variables that, could you anticipate it?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more like in engineering. It's kind of when we assume this area of the system is going to work
Right,
without checking, right? And then
right.
when we start working on that, it's much more complicated. Yes, it's I think it's we just assume without checking, and we shouldn't. We should go and see. We should actually go and check. And if it's exactly as we thought it is, awesome. Next, it's yeah, people get sick. Can you plan for that? No, I think one of the things I've kind of measured at my end of sprint reporting is like, it's two things. One is how many people, you were sick, and if at all, because it will impact on the end of the sprint. What we
Right.
delivered. Now, if people were just sick, do we need to deliver? Do we need to change anything? Right? Okay, so we haven't delivered what we were planning to deliver, but do we actually need to change anything? The way we walk and behave? No, people get sick, right?
Right.
So we haven't delivered this sprint. We'll fix it next sprint, or it's fine. Now, if someone goes on leave, right, and we didn't plan for that person going on leave, we didn't plan our sprint accordingly because we're going to have less people now, and we just expect to deliver the same thing. I think that's a mistake. That's something we need to work on. We need to change that, right? Because it doesn't make sense. It's just kind of to be able to deliver the same amount of work without one person. So it's something like, again, I talk to my team leads, and just when when we look at those things, it's like you can plan for, you can plan for that, right? It's things change. People go to vacation. People get some things you can plan for, some things you cannot. And buffer exists for that, right? It's kind of for unplanned things. But I think it's also important when something unplanned happen, how you as a leader, as a manager, how you react to this.
Right. Fully agree.
Yeah, and that's all. And don't panic. That's the first. That's
Exactly.
always what I tell everyone. Don't fucking panic. You panic, everyone panic.
Exactly.
When shit hit the fence, everyone look at you. Everyone look at you.
Right.
Even if you scream inside your head, just, fucking put your game face on. Pretend everything is great,
Right.
Go scream outside, have a drink, come back and start planning how to fix it. But yeah, just don't panic. It's not gonna be helpful.
There is this quote from Mike Tyson, which I really, really love regarding life in general and plans. You know this quote from Mike Tyson? He said,
Which one?
So I think he was up to fight someone really, really big, and some reporter told them that this person plans to hit, Mike Tyson like this and like that, and this is their game plan. And Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it was like also like as for someone, it's like we make plans and God,
Yeah.
laughs. Like it's kind of same thing. It's like Evie and I when we travel. It's like we never plan more than when we sleep.
What does that
It's
mean?
kind of like we know where we're gonna sleep.
Okay.
Like when we kind of travel, like in Europe and stuff. So we're
Wow.
gonna sleep 2-3 days here, and that's it. We
Here's
rarely plan for anything else. We just wake up, look at the map. I know, it's kind of we didn't have kids then, so it's very
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact. So what you guys are doing is the preferred way of my wife to travel. This is how she loves to travel. She goes and she keeps it very fluid. The thing is that, at least here in the US, it's extremely costly to do that. Like if you wait to the last minute to book your tickets, to book your plane, if you wait to the last minute to book your hotel, if you wait to the last, you're always going to get the lower quality hotel at the higher price. You're always going to get the lower quality airline at the higher price. You're going to pay sometimes triple the amount of what you would pay at another time. So is it the same in Australia?
I think it's the same everywhere. But I think that's why I said like we know where we're gonna sleep, right? When we're gonna book a place where we're gonna stay, but we don't plan much for those like 3-4 days, right?
Which means?
Which means let's say when we travel like in Italy, okay, we're gonna stay like kind of land in Milan. We booked the 2 nights in Milan, and we had no idea what we're gonna do then. Just wake up
I
in the
see.
morning,
Oh,
and then then we had a booking. Okay, we knew that Wednesday we need to drive to Venice. Okay, so then we're gonna stay like 2-3 days there, and then after that, we're gonna travel to Siena. So we're gonna drive, and then it's like it's that how much drive, or we're gonna stop in the middle, or we can just drive. So that's pretty much it, right? We didn't plan like in Rome, for example, we did bought the tickets for Colosseum, and because you just don't want to stand in line for fucking 4 hours, right?
Right.
But it's more like, I think it was like an open tickets that cost a bit more, but then you don't. It's kind of, you can go in a few days, something like that. Uh, but yeah, we always just kind of, and some people they travel, they plan for, that's where we're
Ahead.
gonna
Yeah.
go Tuesday morning
Yeah.
and Tuesday
Yeah.
afternoon, and then if something, breaks in the chain, it's now what? It's, well, no, nothing, just go a different restaurant. It's fine. It's, yeah. Again, we haven't traveled with our kids yet, kind of like much. So we'll see if we're gonna do the same thing with them.
I mean,
Have no idea.
it has to be more fluid with kids.
Good. It's awesome. Yeah.
It has to be much more fluid. Yeah. Too much from my
Yeah.
experience, right?
Yeah.
It has to be much more fluid with the kids. And my wife, this is the default way that we travel. Like, she's very
Yeah.
fluid with her timeline.
I don't think it's better or worse. It just, I think it's like, depends on who you are, and just,
Right.
it's kind of, yeah.
What kind of a person are you? So one of the things that this kind of fluid travel benefit is the fact that you are given the time to inhale the place, like staying at the
Experience.
place, experience the place, experience the atmosphere, not just marking I checked, I've seen
Yeah.
Venice, I've seen this, go out, go. You get to stay, you get to experience the place, you get to experience the culture. You may not get to see all the sites that you initially planned, but you had a much more, like most of the places that we went to, almost all of them, I think we always said, we would love to come back here and experience more.
I think because with the way we traveled, it's also kind of, you're more forced to talk to people, to locals,
Yeah.
because you ask them where to go, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, oh, what's this? And they just tell, oh, this is shit, don't go there. It's crap,
This is a lost
It's,
art, talking to the locals.
Yeah, it's kind of, in Italy and Venice, like we didn't stay in the, all the tourists, we kind of stayed on the main island. And it's like, but then you have to commute for 15 minutes. Jesus Christ, yeah, it's ridiculous. And then you're on the bus, from people that live in Venice and they walk where all the tourists go. So it's just, so you with them on the bus, that's the problem. And we stayed there and went for dinner for a restaurant and just asked like, where to eat. And we just kind of like a local small restaurant. It's like, and
Yes.
yeah, no one spoke English. They gave us the menus. It's all in Italian. Just feed me. I don't care.
These are the best. The best,
Yeah.
not only the best places, but also the best experiences, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the most
And
memorable
just,
experiences.
and everyone was so nice, kind of,
Right.
try this, just show me the plate. Like, awesome. Yeah, that was great. Like a seafood pasta, like in Italy. You're not gonna, it's not gonna be bad. Yeah.
Right.
Probably was the best seafood pasta I ever ate. But yeah, it's all fresh. And anyway, it's, and I think I traveled like that in before that, but just, I don't know, when hiking in East Europe, just talk to locals. I think most people in a lot of places just nice. Right. And yeah, just, you come in as a guest, explore their country. They usually want to show you.
Right.
That's
Agree.
my experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss traveling. Fucking COVID.
You haven't traveled since COVID? No, you
Nope.
have. You haven't traveled since COVID? Oh my God, that's a long time.
Not because we were supposed to then. We were supposed to go to Italy again and just maybe like with me.
Why Italy? I mean, you're in Australia. There's so much to see there.
No. We're supposed to. So if Evelina's best friend, she was supposed to get married then. She lives in Italy, in North Italy. So we thought, okay, let's go to Italy. Then we can meet my parents and Evelina's parents. So we were thinking, we can go to Italy, we can go maybe to Israel for a week, and then we can all meet everyone in Georgia. We can do like stay there like for 2 weeks or something like that, because to travel, because it was close to where Evelina's parents were living then. And yeah, so but then everything went to shit. And then Ruby was born, which is great. And then just we haven't traveled since. Yeah, we definitely need to travel, like just outside of Australia, not inside. There's so much to see here, right?
Yeah.
But I think I miss going somewhere when people don't speak English. It's kind of just gonna get that bit of a different culture,
Mm,
that experience.
I see.
And mate, it's kind of, let's not forget Australia. We're in Asia. There's lots of places here to see, and people don't speak English.
Yeah, that's you
It's
know,
heaps.
every time we discuss going to places in Europe that we would love to see, every time we discuss this, I'm telling Khagit, like we haven't yet fully exhausted, all the places that we want and need to see here in the US before we will take a plane to Europe. It's huge. It's huge. And, we've been at one of the best places in the world so many times, like literally the best place in the world, Disney.
Jeez, I didn't
I
expect that. Okay.
I'm look, the first time I went to Disney, I think I was 15. 15. My parents brought me to Disneyland, and then the second time I brought my kids, right? I was already like I was already 48 or something like that, 49. And since then, we've been about 3 or 4 times. We've been 3 times in Disney Orlando, one time in California. And when I go to Disney, like I'm 50-year-old, like
It's still
12-year-old kid,
funny.
getting excited over Star Wars and the robots. Oh my God, look at Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I go there, I will enjoy it too, mate. Like it's kind of funny. Yeah. No, we're lucky. We're lucky. We are lucky to even think.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
You learn to appreciate it when you travel too.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly. First world problems.
Yeah, exactly. There's not enough avocado. Shut the fuck up. Serious. Yeah, like everything is in our face now, right? Like it's like everywhere. But still like in a very, you still see what they want to, what that person that holds the camera want to show you, right? It's kind of, it's still limited. It's like you still need to go to places to experience that yourself, right? Which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing, but it's kind of, I want to know more about Africa, right? So and you start seeing people that show you Africa the way they see Africa, right? In this country, in those problems, and then you talk to people, I met a lot of people here, like, born in South Africa and then left, and you talk about them, and they will, share their experience, their stories, and they can tell you this video, what you saw, it's ridiculous, it's bullshit. Like it's just that didn't exist. So yes, it existed, but it was really bad. So we have access to everything now, to all the information, but it's still filtered. I think that's why it's really important just to go and experience yourself, and yeah, as much as we can. Like and it's not it's as expensive to travel as it used to be. No, like it's much cheaper. It depends how you want to travel, right? If you want to go first
Exactly.
class, it's gonna be expensive.
Right. No, but it became more expensive. Like before COVID,
Mm.
it was much cheaper. Everything was much cheaper before COVID.
I think just
Housing.
inflation after the well, that's what
Yeah.
happens when you print money like crazy.
Surprise,
It's kind of a
surprise.
surprise. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I remember there was a huge debate over modern monetary policy. You ever heard of it?
Which one? Yeah.
So
Which debate? Yeah.
I
Lots of
think
them.
it's called modern monetary policy, which essentially says um, there's no problem printing money. That's not if you print money and you do it in a certain way, you're not going to lead to inflation. And that was I remember they were very huge during the pre-COVID times. There was a huge discussion regarding modern monetary theory. If they are right, like, can you print a lot of money and not get into inflation and do everything right? And a lot of people started saying that, and the conservatives said, "Listen, that's not going to happen. You print money, you're going to get inflation." And I remember after a few years when inflation started spiking, I remember someone tweeted, "You guys remember that there was this huge debate over modern monetary policy?"
Yeah.
And I saw a video of one of the economics that pushes that modern monetary policy, and Yeah, I know that it didn't really work out as we expected, but still, this is what we should do. We should still print more. It was a big deal at the time. They said, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you
grow,
can
grow,
print
grow, grow,
money."
grow.
Yeah,
Just growth, growth,
exactly.
growth. It's like just keep growing. Um, don't stop. Hey, maybe you should stop and have a look what's going on, around you. Um,
I have
like sustainable growth, and if it wasn't unsustainable, yeah, I think COVID exposed a lot of things, because we kind of we had to stop. We didn't have, in my opinion, we didn't have to stop the way we stopped, but we did. Everything stopped, and everyone just kind of, had to sit at home and think for themselves, just kind of like, and yeah, like, again, we were lucky enough. It didn't impact us, kind of money
right the
wise.
way
Like
that.
even I could continue to walk, and the lockdowns in Australia was shit, but in South Wales it wasn't as bad. I think still bad, but wasn't as bad as other states. Evie and I, we woke up in the morning, and Leah went to daycare, and we went for a walk in the Canada Bay, which is an amazing place, for like an hour, and then went home, had breakfast, and went to walk. And we finished walk, pick up our kid, went for another walk, near water, and it's kind of, and had nice dinner, and yeah, so it's and then you sit home, you read the news, and you see and this and that, and the numbers, and then the vaccines, and it's just, I don't know, it's like it started to open my eyes. I don't think my eyes were closed ever. I'm just cynic person a little bit, for good and bad. So, but I think it just, it just maybe opened my eyes a little bit more to bullshit. And it's not even about the vaccine or lockdowns. It's just about everything in life, right? It's kind of what's important, like what's really, really important.
Right, right, right.
Right. It's just like, oh, we can go now to this place and we cannot go to this place, and it's kind of, oh, we don't have access to, and now things have been delivered so late. Hey, what's actually fucking really important is for you to stay healthy and for you to have access, to be able to, like, have access to your family. But the fact that my parents couldn't fly here, I couldn't fly to see them, that sucked. That was fucking stupid. I haven't seen my parents for 3 years. That's no. And some people kind of, they couldn't see their parents, or couldn't say goodbye to someone they loved.
Right, right. That was
That's
horrible.
important.
That was
That was really
horrible.
important, right?
Yeah,
It's
that was
kind of, oh, we
horrible.
now cannot go to the office and have a conversation in person. Okay,
Do
sure,
me a
cool.
favor.
Yeah, like, kidding me. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's actually important, to take a break from everything, and
Reevaluate the importance of
yeah, just
real.
kind of grow, grow, grow. Hold a second. Hold on. Yeah, wait a second.
There's this audiobook that I started listening to, even though I don't know, it's called The Five Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. And I think I shared a small schema from.
Hold on a sec. Sorry. One sec, guy. Yeah, one sec. That's okay. We can just clear it on the recording. One sec, wait.
Everything's okay?
Sorry. Back.
Everything's okay? All بسادة?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, everything's okay now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
is
my wife
everything
just called. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, all good. Yeah, all good. Yeah.
okay? So yeah, so I have to admit that I'm really excited for because of this AI. I like this is I don't know how to explain it. Like this is for me like a dream come true. And I'll
In
explain
what
why.
way?
First of all, in so many ways. I cannot even begin to explain how much excited I am for this technology. Like one of the things that you're gonna see in we already started seeing, right, with the demo that OpenAI did, that you can point your phone and ChatGPT sees the visual and they can communicate with the visuals. And today Google has that. All the major model has that. That is insane. And I'll explain why. Because now that you have that, right, you have a brain that can see the visual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it can understand the visual and it can communicate with that visual. You're, I would say, 80% done to get to the brain of, if you remember in Star Wars, C3PO. right? A robot that can communicate with you. And why am I saying 80%? Because the only thing that is left now is to have a big enough context that they will be able to remember who you are throughout its lifetime. That's it. Once you solve that context, that big window of context, that's it. You have the C3PO brain. Now you put it on a robot, and we already have those robots today that can walk, and you're done. You did it. It's here. It's literally here. Like, think of George Lucas, right? When he did Star Wars back in the 70s, that was science fiction. He will get to see his vision, his science fiction vision in life before he dies. That is crazy. That is great.
I just hope we won't get to see us fighting the way they fought there.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, but that is an insane.
It is exciting to live now.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. You know, I'm not part of building that technology. I'm not an AI engineer. It's still exciting to be, part of the tech ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Kind of be so close to it. Actually, use it on a day to day. It, kind of at work, and just like, I use it for woodworking and just like in general, and just it's like an amazing tool, right? That can help you. Multiple tools. There's also a lot of bullshit out there, like with everything, right? Like it's kind of, every asshole right now, and I'm going back to the asshole. Just, get like an idea, wraps it up, creates a wrapper to ChatGPT. Hey, look, new product. Okay, cool. Yeah, but if it helps someone, that's awesome. People that don't know how to go and use it directly or just organize that. I just don't think it's a very good business. But will compete. Somebody will compete with you very quickly. Oh,
Right.
ChatGPT.
Right. I mean, I'm very pessimistic regarding what's going to happen to the work from employment perspective, but I'm super excited, super hyped regarding.
I think it's going to change the way we work. If not now,
Yeah.
5-10 years, whatever. I'm not pessimistic.
I like this view more.
Yeah, listen, I think if you're not using those tools today, it's kind of, you're going to be replaced by someone that is younger and, using those tools. You're going to be replaced by someone who's your age and is going to be using those tools, right? It's kind of, all the engineers, fuck. No, actually, the younger engineers are fucked. I worry about them.
I think we're all fucked.
Yeah.
If that's the word.
Yeah.
But we are both extremely fucked and extremely lucky in ways I cannot
Honestly,
even.
I think our job is going to change for the better, actually.
Think about it this way. The O1 model, I think when they tested O1, it came in with they gave it to do analysis on CT scans or something like that, analysis for patients. It got 80% accuracy. And they compared it with human doctors that get 30% accuracy.
Yeah. So we're not fucked. We're actually better.
Can you imagine? That is amazing. That is amazing. You get, in a few years, we're all going to get like the ex-doctor that we all dreamed of, and removing that human error out of the loop entirely. That is
awesome.
going to...
I think that's great. I think, yeah.
That's amazing.
Long time. That's amazing. Really, yeah. Every time I went to GP, just a GP, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes, this and this. There is fucking zero chance in 5 minutes, you can give me an answer. Like, you can just give me an A answer to get someone else in this room. This is bullshit. It's, and every time I saw, a GP that was overweight, I just wanted to leave that room. Like, fuck you, mate. You're not taking care of yourself. Like, it's kind of, are you going to tell me what to do? Like, yeah, it's, so again, I'm not against doctors. It's,
no.
It just, I think that's great. It will leave doctors to focus on things, more important things.
Right.
And I
exactly.
think it's this, and I think it's the same thing with us.
Right.
Do you want to sit there and write fucking unit tests all day? Or you want to just go and, which is also important, right? Or you want to focus on, more business logic and how to, it's kind of, most of the problems that come, at least in my day to day, they are not from coding or it's communication. It's
Right.
conflicts. It's people problems. How to make sure that that group is working on the right things. That's the job. Now, can a lot of people do that? No. Fuck no.
Right.
It's also not as easy to learn. You know, you need experience, and you need to understand both technology and you need to understand people, what makes them tick.
Right.
So, and I think we all need to get better at this more and more, right? Just kind of now, if more, if AI can be more efficient and write a lot of the code, then one can argue, oh, we're not going to have any more people problems. We do. We're just going to have different people problems, right?
Right.
It's yeah. I think the job is going to change with time, and I think it's understand how it works, use the tools. Don't need to be kind of that approach. Oh, this is gonna replace me. I'm not gonna use it. This is ridiculous. Stop watching those fucking YouTube videos and just use the tools. You'll understand better the tool, what it's capable of on day to day if you use it. Right? It's yeah, I use it all the time.
These are amazing
If
tools.
if it's cursor, yeah, I'm barely searching in Google, to be honest. I'm just using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know what Google is gonna do when ChatGPT is gonna add ads in the search. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely changes.
Everything.
And I don't think it's changes, at least right now. I don't think it changes for the bad. Is it too fast? Maybe. Also, do you think we're kind of in a little bubble, like people that we in tech? It's like that we think, oh, it's impacting everything. Because when I speak to people outside of tech, what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
So Anthropic came out with a research. Was 2 weeks ago or a week ago came out with a research regarding the usage of their model. But we have to remember that Anthropic is a very, very specific model that most of their users are using it for code. And they said that from the usage of their model, they clearly see that, very rarely anyone uses it outside of tech. Like there's a complete bubble there.
Interesting. It's and you know why I get that? Again, that Tuesday morning, right? When I sit in that woodworking shop and with people that none of them in tech and very smart people in their own fields, kind of like some of them doctors, some of them teachers, some of them on a pension, but it's very educated, very intellectual people. Like we have, we're taking breaks, having coffee in the morning.
Right.
I love those conversations, right? And it's a bubble. To me, it can always feel like it's kind of they not there at all, right? Like not even close.
Which is, it's gonna hit them eventually. And
Yeah, it will. I don't know how. Like it's kind of I have no idea. Remember with COVID when COVID had, and all students and kind of kids in school went just kind of study online, and everyone, oh, you see, it's possible. We don't need schools anymore. Kids can just sit at home and study, and AI will come in now and can teach our kids. Those kids are in trouble that went through that, right? It's kind of that lack of being with other kids in the same place and studying
right.
together. Those kids are behind.
Right. Agree.
And
But
now, and I can see, oh, AI is much better teacher than a teacher.
so
So
listen
yeah, go
to
ahead.
this.
Yeah,
So I've seen there's this Star Wars series about the kids, Star Wars Kids
yeah,
series.
yeah. I think we mentioned that last time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
The crew,
yeah,
skeleton crew. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
I need to watch
again,
it. I
I
haven't
do
watched it.
believe
Yeah.
that kids gonna be in class, but the
Mm-hmm.
difference is gonna be that today, when they have a problem, when they have an issue, they need to confront a human teacher that sometimes lack the patience. They had a bad day. They don't really have clear understanding of the material that they are teaching. They came here by mistake. They're substituting, whatever the reason is. That AI, when they will come in and say, I don't understand, could you help me out? That AI will have the most patience that they could ever imagine to explain them the subject from start to end in whatever way they will need, so each person has its own way of understanding. The AI will explain it to them the way they need. I'm studying multiple subjects throughout, even today, and every time that I confront, used to, it was very hard back in the day. It was very hard studying things. Today, when I study those issues and I'm confronting problems which I don't understand, I just go to ChatGPT and I have a conversation. And it explains in a manner that I can fully understand and internalize in
Yeah.
minutes. This is amazing.
I think you're grown person. I think that's different. And you had experience, to run before. I think with that teacher example that you make is actually good, but I think it will be good. It will be great for a teacher to be there. I think that teacher will be less tired because it doesn't have to fucking deal with admin until last night.
Yeah,
Right. So AI can help with that. Let AI
exactly.
help with that. Right. Let AI help the teacher to prepare the lesson.
I saw
Right.
that.
And then let the teacher, right, focus on the kids.
Right.
Right.
The human.
If the kid, because you today can go and have a conversation with ChatGPT as a grown person, right? Have you seen I have a five-year-old kid at home. Plays Mario. He gets frustrated. Oh no, gets annoyed. How AI is going to handle that? It's gonna, please relax. You can do one, two, three. Oh, as a person, you can come in, you can see the reaction, and you can help the kid to learn that sometimes things don't work right away and you need to try again and again. But you can see, or maybe you're just hungry. Let's have lunch and then come back and do it, try and do it again. I think, again, I think it's the combination, technology and like we shouldn't just say everything that is being done by human is bad. AI will do it better. Some things, yes, it's gonna, doctor will go and scan a CT and then AI will analyze that better. Also, great, fucking A. It's amazing. That's why we kind of had like, second opinion. Someone else is better at looking at scans because they have done it 50 years. But and guess what? You get more experience and now you're fucking old and you're tired and you still want to, it's kind of now there's no way I'm going to miss something on the scan. Yes, you will. You're just a person, right? And maybe last night you had a fight with your wife and now you're not so focused and you're making a decision that's going to have impacted someone, life or death, the consequence of your decision. Now, would I rather move that AI? Yes, right. I want that doctor to use that tool, and that tool will tell him there is a very high probability this is where the area is. Then the doctor can actually stay and be focused on that person, right, and sit with that person, with the patient, right, for as long as it's needed. So now, question is, what type of people will become teachers? What type of people will become doctors?
Human
Because
centric,
now
more social
I don't
centric.
know, because now, right, what type of people will become engineers? Because now what's happening in most countries, from what I know, the best of the best of us do not become teachers at all, unfortunately.
I think the Nordic countries are an exclusion from that.
Yeah, yeah. But, it's that definitely wasn't the reality in Israel. That definitely not in reality in Australia. Sorry, all the teachers. I met some amazing, but if you look at the numbers, they kept reducing the entry level because there's not enough really, and teachers don't stay in the profession after 5, 6 years because the admin kills them. Okay, and again, the technology solutions that go in to solve that problem, they introduce a bunch of other problems. So yeah, I hope AI will solve that and we will be able to bring back people to be teachers that want to be there for the kids. That's what they want to do, right? Same with
Right.
engineers, by the way. I hope
Yeah,
people
that
want to
makes
come into
sense.
engineering back
Yeah.
because they want to create things, right? So I
It's
don't
a
think we
very
fucked, mate. I don't think we
that is a
fucked at all.
that is a very interesting perspective. Like, there's gonna remove some of the engineering needs, but at the end of the day, the client will want to speak to a human. It's not, they will not want to speak, both the client and the product. They would want to speak to a human. At a certain point, like, the client would want to speak to a product human, to a human product,
Yeah.
and the human product would like to speak to a human engineer, and someone will have to translate it to the
I
AI.
think it will merge a little bit. I think if you are one of those engineers, I don't want to talk to one. I just want to sit myself and code all day. And, I want to have my, kind of perfect setup at home and just don't need anything. I could just by myself code, don't need teammates. I think those engineers are fucked and they deserve to be fucked a little bit,
One deserve to be
just
fucked.
a little bit. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
It's no, but
depends
it's kind of
of the type of fucking, but yeah,
yeah.
sure.
I think just it's kind of I'm a genius coder and I'm allowed to be not social at all, right? I don't give a shit about the business. I don't care about other people. I was just deploy the production, and just without talking to anyone. I think those brilliant jokes are going to be a little bit in trouble, right?
Could
Because
be. Yeah.
could be, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I need to go. Fortunately, sorry.
No,
We could
makes
probably
sense.
just keep conversation, yeah, until yeah,
Agree.
till the sunrise. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, mate, feel better. Exercise.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
do.
My
Thank
injury
you
is passing.
for the suggestions. Like I'm definitely gonna use them this week.
Again, hopefully it will help. Every time I used to say that, cut corners, plan how you're gonna resolve them. What do you mean cut corners? No. Okay, don't. Do what works for you. Just figure out what's important and go from there.
Thank you,
All right,
Viko.
mate. Chat to you next week.
Bye bye.
See ya.